Hey guys, welcome back to Lindasresinroom. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to make this little coaster mold. It says life is better with fluffy cows, and it has a little cow on there, a Highland cow. And I think this is a rooster or a chicken, and this is a cow. So that's the theme we're doing today. So I've got 90 gram of resin here and 120 here, because I think that's what they'll take. I do have a little extra mixed up in case I need it. With the chicken, we're going to put in some ocean white paste from Let's Resin. With the cow, I'm going to do this coffee brown. It's from US Art Supply. And we're just going to mix that in the resin, fill these up, paint them after they're done. But we're going to go ahead and paint this cow up. So I'm going to do brown for the cow, if I can. And my resin's already mixed. I don't want it to get too hot on me. So I do need to kind of do this in a hurry, but I don't want to mess it up either. These things can be so hard to get down in there sometimes. I wasn't thinking when I mixed the resin up, or I would have painted this first. I'm hoping I can just, where it's raised, just kind of go over it this way, and it will paint on there. So far it's working. And if I get it down in the cow, I'm not worried about that either. He can have a few little brown speckles on him here and there. I don't mind. To me, it's easier when they're this small to just go ahead and paint the mold first and then fill it with resin after. Because the areas are just too small to get paint down in there. I think this mold came from Brighter Side of, what's it called? Brighter Side of Resin, maybe? On Facebook. I think that's where it came from. I think I got it in a box or something, maybe 1 month. I don't really remember, but it looks like one of their molds. Almost. We're getting there. I've never made it. I just opened it out of the package not long ago. Well, right before I started doing this, I opened it up. I think before I do the letters, I'm going to go ahead and mix my resin and fill my animals up. That way I'm not risking those flash curing on me what time I am painting this mold. I think the cow looks pretty good though. I think he's painted up pretty well. Okay, let's go ahead and do our white. I'm just going to put some white paste down in there. Just squeezing some out and get this mixed up. And it's still streaky. Make sure you mix these very well. Now he has a little cone down in there, so he's got to be a rooster. Okay. Just going to pour this down in there a little bit, and then I'm going to squeeze him some. There we go. I just want to make sure he is no bubbles down in there. Don't really see any. So I want to make sure his beak doesn't have any. There comes one. There's another. There's another. There's a few bubbles, aren't there? Okay. Let's finish filling him up. All right, so we still got just a little bit left, but 3 ounces is plenty to do our rooster. Now, I think 4 is going to be plenty for this cow too. I get a good size scoop out of there. This came in a bag, and I just put it in this container. Plus, I still have some in the bag too. I hate using mica powders out of a bag. I've got a whole stack of them over there that have came with resins and things, where people send out as free samples that I've just not used. I ordered some thinking they were in little containers, and they came in bags, and I do need to start trying to use them. Use them up and get them out of my way. Okay, he's got a few little bubbles here. My little lighter is almost empty. Okay. You know what we could do? We could take the rest of this white. It's probably going to mix, but we can pour this right down in this cow. Now let's squeeze this one. He's got some little ears and horns and things down in there, I think. Let's take the rest of this white and just dump in him. It's not going to hurt anything, right? It all should mix anyways. I've got it all over the backside of that mold. I make such a mess. But I guess it wouldn't be me if I didn't. Alright, let's see if we can get the rest of this out of here. Okay, one more scrape all the way around. I hate those divots in these cups. Okay. Clean this stick off and throw it over in my pile. Get that resin off of me. Or just spread it and make more. Make it worse. Alright, let's finish filling him up with the brown now. It would be nice if we did see some of the white. Make him unique. Yeah, I think he only needs 3. Well, we used that white too. So 4 ounces and he's good. So move that out of the way. And I'm going to move that out of the way. I'm going to get that off of my silicone mat here. Now let's get my cow back. Alright, and I'm going to do green for his letters. I think green will work. You know, cows, they go out in the pasture. And we are going to glitter this up. This is much easier to do. These letters are wider than what the cow was, so it's a whole lot easier to paint them. I hope these colors look good. If not, we can always paint it again after we demold it, or we can get a pipette and pipelet, whatever you want to call it, pipette, and we can try to get some resin down in the letters. Okay. I hope this turns out pretty. Okay, almost. Last letter. And this will pull right off of the mold onto the resin piece, and the mold should be completely clear anywhere the resin has touched it to pull this off. Alright, now let's see here. I got 2 ounces. I'm going to use this laser paste. It's a silver holographic paste. Clean this stick off here. Alright. Now, mix up our laser paste here. And I'm going to use a lot of this stuff. Hopefully that is enough, because this will sink. I do think it will. Sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. You never can tell. This was something I got from Temu, I think. And this resin is really warming up, so we really need to get this done. Okay. Let's just pour this all in there, and hopefully it will go right down in that cow. And there's a... just rubbing it across that bee, because I do know that it needs some resin down in there too. I'm just going to rub this across that cow, and I'm hoping that it's putting the resin down in all those little tiny areas and not taking off my color. Now let's just finish filling this up, and hopefully don't overflow. Okay, I think I can do just a little bit more in there. All right, we still got some left, so I've got a few molds. These are razor blade earrings, I think. So this will match that. Just try to let it kind of do its thing and spray it out. Oops, dripped off. Put a little more in there. Okay. All right, those are domed. Now, I have these faces here. So let's see if, I think they're earrings too. See if we can get those to spread out. Probably have a little cleanup to do on these. And I have this little love sign. Now this is going to be more difficult, because I'm going to have to try to get this to roll around. Which I guess I could just do the whole thing. Definitely going to have some cleanup on this. See if it'll just kind of go down in there. All right. These need a little more. They need to go all the way in that other eye. Hopefully that will push that up through there. I see it overflowing. All right, where's my... Here we go. I gotta help it along. Otherwise it's overflowing too much. And I need it to go right down in that mouth too. Definitely going to have a little cleanup on these. Okay, let me see if I can get this to go down in this eye. This is why I don't do things like this. It's just so hard to get them all the way down in there. And then you end up with all this that you have to clean up afterwards. And I don't mind bigger pieces, but these little pieces they're difficult to get a hold of. Okay. See if I can clean this one off a little bit. Make it a little easier to clean up afterwards if it's not so thick. There we go. Now let's finish this love mold. Needs a little more. Okay, I'm going to let that do that thing. Pop a few little bubbles here and there. Yeah, this is going to have some cleanup. Just because I couldn't just get it down in the little pieces where it needed to go. So it kind of went over the whole top. Get some of that off. Okay. There we go. That's all I can do with it. And I don't know what to do with what's left. Let's see. I got a little turtle here. We'll just finish dumping this in. He'll end up being a dump. However he turns out, it's how he's going to turn out. And he probably won't get completely full with what resin I have now. Scrape the rest of this out of this cup here. Okay, there's all of that one. Now he's going to have him some glitter too. I'll put it right along the edges. That way hopefully it will mix. Now let's just dump the rest in the center. And you know what? I believe all that might fill him up. Almost. Not quite. Alright, let's see what we can scrape out of here. Man, it'd be nice if we could have got just a little bit more to fill him completely up. I could still demold him like this. He just won't have that little lip of a bottom. All right, turn that cup upside down, let it drain, clean this stick. I'm going to clean my hands. Where's my alcohol? Okay. Hopefully all that turns out good. We'll see. Move him up here. Now, I do know that I do need to pop his head here. Okay, I got that bubble. Now, he always ends up with bubbles in his arm. Always. There it goes. Come on, Pop. Oh, be nice if he didn't end up with a bubble in that arm. And I just stuck it in the razor blade. Now, let's see if... Yep, there's that bubble too. And it popped. Alright, so we got his arm. We got his head. A little tail back here. I think he's got a tail. Alright, we'll see how he turns out, won't we? Always drip resin everywhere. Alright, guys. We will let those cure up and come back for a demold. And then I'll do a time lapse and paint these two little suckers up. So I'll see you guys then. Hey guys, so all this is cured up, so let's get it demolded and see what it looks like. This is our coaster. Life is better with fluffy cows. He's cute. Okay. Love mold. Still a little bendy. It is cute. Might make that into a keychain. Get that off there. These thin pieces take a little while to end up. And when I put all this stuff together and paint up the little animals, I'll do that on a time lapse for you guys. Okay, those are cute. Now, most of these molds, I did try to find the links, and I'm going to tell you right now, they came from Temu. And I just put on there Temu out of stock or Temu discontinued, because I have found that with Temu, you can't get the things that you've ordered before, and now they've become almost as much as what it costs to shop on Amazon, if not more expensive. All right, there's our razor blade earrings. This is one of the molds. You can't get it anymore. I did find this one on Amazon. This one you can't get anymore. These you can't get anymore. Which I think is... Oh, his head came off. The silicone was stuck and he didn't get enough resin in there. So I'm not going to demold him. I'm going to have to pour some more so we can undecapitate him. Alright, let's see our little brown cow. Looks like he does have some white in him. Now, I did find a mold like this one, the cow, on AliExpress. Oh, isn't he cute? He's got a hole in his tongue. I'll have to fix that Little bell around him. Okay, little micro bubbles. I'll have to shave off his bottom. He's a little stiff. Little bubble there we'll have to fix. Alright, but he does have some of the white. He's a cute little mold. But as I was saying, I did find one like this similar on AliExpress. It's a solid mold and it's cut down the side to demold him. So if you do want that one, you can find it on there. Just search for cow mold. I think is how I found it. I gotta get some of these resin pieces up. Some of them's not wanting to come. There we go. I don't want to mess my silicone mat up. This is the last one I have. I'm going to have to buy some more. I like these big ones. Get them off of Amazon. Alright, there's the cow. Now, I think this is the rooster. Okay. Oh, he is cute. He's got a couple little bubbles here I'm going to have to fix up. Paint up his eyes, his little beak. Here's his little cone. He doesn't have any he has no bubbles other than he's got a little one here and here. And his toes are made like that. That's his little claws. And just a couple there. And we'll shave his bottom off. Alright. I'll see you guys back after I do the painting these up and putting these jewelry pieces together. So, I'll see you guys then. Alright guys, I got these done. So I painted up the little cow and I put a little butterfly on the hair. That I thought it was so cute. Little tail. And then there's a girl I work with. And I always say she's a chicken tender because she takes care of chickens and she gives us fresh eggs all the time. So I told her that I made a chicken and it reminded me of her. So she said she has to see him when he's done. But I think he turned out gorgeous. I love this little chicken. And you've seen our coaster. And then I put together the razor blade earrings. Whoops. I just put the hooks on those. And our face earrings. I put the hooks on those. Alright guys. That's it for this video. I'll see you guys back for the next one. I'll see you then.